Oh, good evening, laddies, lasses, and lassos. Welcome to the click. You smell absolutely astounding today. That's how I could tell you were here. Do you know that love is in the air? And do you know what the color of love is? That is right, red, just like the blood of your enemies, and hellfire, and the emotional support team. And speaking of love is in the air and red things, the emotional support team is coming back, permanently in stock on Valentine's. Yes, indeed. So if you have had the excuse before, like, oh my god, click, I didn't have time to pick it up because limited time and blah, blah, blah. Now there is no excuse. Pick it up on Valentine's. You want a perfect gift for your elderly grandma? Emotional support team. And you want a perfect gift for your nephews or kids? Emotional support team. And you want a perfect gift for your significant other? Emotional support team. And do you want a gift for yourself? Buy 20 for yourself. Just kidding, buy 30 for yourself. Speaking about things that are less beautiful than the emotional support team. And do you know what r/facepalm is? It's a beautiful place on the internet where we see the debauchery of humanity. And we can just laugh about it together because at least we're sitting here laughing about this outrageous stuff, and we can feel that maybe I'm not the crazy one, maybe the world is just crazy and we can laugh about it together. So let's laugh about it together. Enjoy. Mwah.
What a wonderful world it could be, but it's not.
Hey, Smexy. Hey, Lamau. Don't talk to me like that. Very disrespectful. You will say hello and only address me as sir. Nudes? Ah, yes, the gentleman of conversations.
Hello, sir. Here is a nude.
What kind of world does this person live in? This is from 2015. Oh my god. Well, that brings me... No, it's not hope. It just shows that dating has probably always been as bad as it is now. Just more of it is immortalized on the internet. Isn't that a goodie? You know what they say? It wasn't better before, but it is at least as bad now. Whippy! Oh, I want to show you something. Let me read you the end of an email I got the other day. We are excited to work together and explore how we can create a powerful partnership which benefits both your channel and our brand. What a deal! If you're interested in this collaboration, please reach out to us at your earliest convenience. We are enthusiastic to discuss further details and address any concerns you may have. Best regards, your name. Either they have a little bit of an unusual name, the family name and first name your, which is a little bit uncommon, haven't heard about that before, or they just failed to copy-paste this entire thing. I just wanted to bring this up because it's really funny, and I think it's also valuable to know for people that are like up-and-coming content creators that most of the emails you get from potential sponsorship stuff is going to be trash. Don't be too eager to accept things because most of it is gonna be bad. Only take on things that you feel that you need or things that you genuinely feel comfortable endorsing, and the people that are doing it seem decent. In my experience, a large volume of it is garbage. It's like, oh dear. Oh, it's like swimming through a pile of trash, isn't it?
Dear women, I am only trying to help. None of your professional or personal accomplishments matter to men.
Okay, he's really speaking for everyone, isn't he?
It's hard biological reality that there's only one thing that women have that matters to men, and it is fleeting. Here today, gone tomorrow.
Okay, here we have a couple of pictures of Harry Potter actors when they were like 19 or something. And here are 2 pictures today. Oh my god. I mean, the first picture is either filtered or just a really bad angle, or maybe both. The second one is just an obvious age filter. Like, these people are public figures. You can find pictures of them that are not edited yourself. If you're gonna, like, push this narrative, why do you make it so blatantly bullshit? Fam, these actresses are like 30, not 55. Bruh. WikiHow. Learn why people trust WikiHow. How to calm an angry woman.
Are you on your period or something?
I think they put this under the wrong category. This should be like how to significantly shorten your lifespan tutorial. Because if that's the article it's under, it's pretty accurate.
Oh, a tax shooter here would go freaking crazy.
That is true. That's so amazing. Why does this yard look like a balloons map? Who designed this? Does anyone actually walk over? Based on like the worn grass there in the middle, I'm assuming it's worn grass or not like a water sprayer. No one uses this path. Why would you build it like this? You think if you're in a rush to get to the road, you're gonna walk this zigzaggy stuff? What?
Learn that sea urchins have a single eye, and now I am physically ill. Look at this eye staring at you.
Readers added context they thought people might want to know. That is a butthole. My urchin, stare deep into my brown eye. And they say romance is dead. At this point, I'm starting to doubt it was ever alive to begin with. Okay, this next one isn't really a facepalm. I just wanted you to have an award because you've been so good at watching my content lately. So here we go. This gay award has been presented to you for being super heckin' gay. Keep up the gay work. Gay! You're welcome. If we lose, we get baptized. If they lose, they go out drinking with us. This is so good. I think this is how you make people from different backgrounds and different beliefs actually spend time together. We just play poker, and whoever loses has to go along with the other one for the rest of the day. Isn't this beautiful? This is how we bridge gaps in the world. Oh my god.
If I was a politician, I would probably run the mandatory drinking game party.
Honestly, it's not that much worse than most parties I see nowadays. I'm gonna be honest, fam.
ADHD is part of the autism spectrum, so if you have ADHD, you're technically autistic.
Girl, no it's not.
Girl, Google it, says the person who has not Googled it.
Don't comment on someone's poo if you're uneducated, crying emoji. Autism is a spectrum.
Yeah, there are many things in life that are a spectrum, but that's like saying gender is a spectrum means that height is also on the same spectrum. It's like there can be multiple spectrums that don't have anything to do with each other.
Being on the spectrum means many things. Autism is not just a stereotypical thing you think about.
FYI, honey, I have autism and ADHD. ADHD is completely unrelated, and a quick Google search will clear that up for you. According to people that I know, at least, they can often coincide, but it's not the same thing. They're not interchangeable, fam. If you're gonna tell people to Google stuff, maybe Google it yourself first. You know? Just to prove a point, I'm gonna Google this. Is ADHD autism? Autism is very distinct from ADHD, but the core symptoms of ADHD combined type, i.e. attention deficit, impulsivity, and hyperactivity, would appear to also be features of autism. ASD and ADHD are neurobiological disorders characterized by similar underlying neurophysiological deficits. Alright, interesting. So that sounds like someone could be, for example, misdiagnosed by it, but it doesn't mean that it's the same thing. Andrew Tit, I don't sleep with vaccinated women.
Vaccines work, y'all!
Wasn't this also in Not Like Other Girls video? Man, this one really made the rounds. It's so beautiful. I'm gonna be honest, fam, demanding that people are not vaccinated to date them is a really weird requirement.
Please read this message carefully and forward it to everyone for knowledge. 7 biggest brain-damaging habits. Number 1, missing breakfast.
Missing breakfast is the one most damaging thing to brains ever. You know, like not, I don't know, smacking your brain on the sidewalk or something would be more... No, okay, it's missing breakfast.
2, sleeping late. 3, high sugar consumption.
Alright, well, consuming too much sugar is obviously not healthy. Your brain also requires a lot of carbs to operate well. So for example, if you listen to interviews from people, that do a lot of bodybuilding and stuff and they're maxing out before a competition, they will tell you how they kind of slow down before the time because they only eat protein, no fat, no carbs, nothing. Your brain needs carbs to work well. That's actually a good tip. Have a little carby snack with you if you have a long test in school, for example, because it literally fuels your brain. Anyway, I'm not sure what this list is referring to exactly. It's a bit weird.
Number 4, more sleeping, especially at morning.
But you just said sleeping late was brain stroke, but sleeping more in the morning is not brain stroke. What?
5, eating meal while watching TV or computer.
I swear to God, I think the biggest brain damage habit is reading this list.
6, wearing cap or scarf or socks while sleeping. 7, habit of blocking and stopping urine.
What do you mean if you go pee and you just hold your personal parts and be like, you ain't coming out of there? And that's gonna make your brain explode?
Don't just read forward. To whom you care as I care for you.
The spacing is off. I think this whole thing is fake. World Health Organization. Yeah, no, I'm not buying this. I think this is a troll post. It can't be this stupid.
If you sleep late in the morning, your brain is gonna explode. But also, if you don't sleep in the morning, your brain will also explode. Your brain is just gonna explode. You better accept it.
This is the face of white nationalism in Estonia, Lemau. Oh dear. I'm not exaggerating when I say that this is the worst trim I have ever seen in my life. This feels like an overcharacterization of how you feel after you go to a new barber for the first time. And they're like,
I'm just gonna snippety. That looks great, doesn't it? And you're like,
I'm gonna wear a hat for a month.
This is just that emotion, but personified. That looks so bad. I distinctly remember this story from when I was like, I don't know, 12 or something like that. The whole class went biking, and all the kids were wearing bike helmets because, of course, we were teaching kids to wear helmets when riding bikes, you know, just normal bike helmets, whatever. And then one of the teachers, for some reason, decided that this was the day they were really gonna push bike safety, to the point they said it doesn't matter how ridiculous you look, as long as it's safe. And I have never seen a bike helmet that looks like that. It went down to like here, and then had a perfect cut across the face, went down here, and then all the way around, looked like it was made out of like packaging plastic, and it was like sharp yellow. It looked exactly like this haircut. It's so wild. I just had the most vivid flashback. Isn't that beautiful? Nostalgia, but like in a bad way. Is bad nostalgia just trauma? Is that what that is? Anyway, let's move on.
Bought our first house at age 19. What y'all buying?
A $3.99 realty record shows your dad bought it, much like the company you run. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna brag about financial advice at 19 and stuff, don't just have your parents pay for anything. That's not like financial advice. That's just you getting free stuff because you're lucky. I swear to God, the amount of articles I have seen floating around the internet where it goes something like,
here is our life hack for how we got really wealthy. Step number 1, inherit 10 properties from your rich grandpa. Step 2, become a landlord for these 10 properties. These are simple life hacks that anyone can do. It's so easy, you guys.
I mean, of course there's different financial advice depending on where you're at in life, right? But when it gets so ridiculously specific and you basically say my financial advice is that I got enough stuff for free, then maybe it's not gonna be that relatable, you know? God damn it.
You will never catch me using pronouns.
I think we just did, though. I think, what do you think a pronoun is? r/confessions. I sniffed a girl's butt in school. Okay, this seems to be a little bit of harassment territory. There is this girl in my school that I like, and she is a straight baddie. Today she was walking through the hallway and everyone was staring. While she was passing, I decided to sniff her without her noticing as a joke. What a good joke. Everyone laughed and my friend pointed out she had a phone in her back pocket and she might have been recording. Now I'm worried she filmed me sniffing her butt. This is the reason why humanity has not achieved world peace. Monkeys like this who can't control their impulses. And then OP replies and says, I am white. I refuse to believe these people are real. Okay, I refuse to believe this is real. And the worst thing is, it's like a 50-50 if it's real or not. It's not even that unlikely because I have seen how people act in the real world a few times. I actually leave the house now that I do this for a job. And my God, it is sadly not that far-fetched, is it? Okay, for my wholesome side tangent on this one, oh yes, indeed. I would say the difference between, like, a prank and bullying is that when you do a prank, everyone is in on it, and it's usually at the very least funny after the fact for the people getting pranked as well, right? It's usually quite harmless. Bullying is when you say it's a prank, but it's only fun for the people doing the prank. You see, there is a distinction. One is inclusive and everyone laughs like friends. The other one has a very specific target that feels awkward, uncomfortable, harassed, and it's fun for everyone else. You see the difference? It's distinct there, kiddo. I hope she filmed you.
Observer of life. How did the human race survive for thousands of years without vaccines?
They died in great numbers. Hope that helps.
But we are still here without them.
How many people died from the Spanish flu? The microscopic killer circled the entire globe for 4 months, claiming the lives of more than 21 million people. The United States lost 675,000 people to the Spanish flu in 1918, more casualties than World War I, World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War combined. That should give you like a sense of the magnitude. So while, yes, like populations can obviously survive, it seems a bit unnecessary to, completely decimate the world population and society if we can just kind of simply avoid it, I mean, humanity as a species would survive without seatbelts in cars too, but it would certainly cause a lot of unnecessary suffering and death, There's a difference between total annihilation and just unnecessary suffering. There's a scale between the two, fam. A 14-year-old Florida teen fatally shot his sister in an argument over Christmas gifts. Seems reasonable, only to be shot moments later by his own teenage brother, authorities say. I can't even tell which ones of these articles are real and not anymore, man. This is wild. What kind of Christmas is this?
Same girl, but the girl on the left has wife potential, and the girl on the right doesn't. Why? 1,000 PP stare.
Is that a scientific term?
Learn to see it, never commit to it, and do your bit not to cause it.
So there's a 10-year difference, and in the second one specifically posing with like makeup and for the camera and stuff, and the second one just smiling normally. I don't know, fam, if you make such a huge conclusion from a single picture of people, you're probably just a little bit out there, no? Damn, I wonder what arguments people would make about me if they put a picture of me from 10 years ago beside me now. Would it be a good thing or a bad thing? Maybe a bit of both, depending on what you ask or what you want to prove.
This is what being a YouTuber does to people. They age.
Ah, shite. Americans in 1775, give me liberty or give me death. PragerU in 2023, being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no? What is the context where this argument is being made, fam? Why did you make this? Hi, dad of 8 here. I change diapers and don't feel any less manly for doing so. Marriage and parenting are team sports.
Imagine the embarrassment of your husband publicly making a statement that begins with the word hi. Skull. Our society is so gay.
If your takeaway from this is that our society is so gay, I think the world as a whole is probably a bit more gay than you think it is. You're in for a bit of an awakening.
Imagine men saying hi. That's such a beta gay thing.
How to, like, push toxic masculinity and homophobia at once. At least it's efficient.
Log out of account. We bought account. Bro, log out. Let's play with friends. Come on, get out of your account, please.
Buttface, don't buy stolen accounts. That is so funny. So they hacked into the account and then were upset that they weren't able to use it because the original owner still had access to it. That's pretty cringe. I had this happen to me with Spotify. My Spotify got hacked, but I didn't notice because I had to log in from another social platform on it. So even though my password and email got changed, they couldn't change that part. So I was using it perfectly normal, didn't even notice until someone just started switching my songs randomly. But I did it more, so they got tired of it because they couldn't use my Spotify because I would always just swap the song. And then they got tired, and then when I got home, I reached out to support and got my whole account restored, of course. The whole moral of the story is, just be more stubborn than the hackers. A woman went on 6 dates a week to save on food.
I didn't buy groceries for 2 years.
That sounds exhausting. Oh my god, is this even like a life hack?
A food digger?
Oh my god. The only time I've heard of something similar like this was a friend of a friend who went on a ski trip once, and they decided they weren't gonna pay for housing, so their goal was to go to an afterski and find someone to go home with every single day. I'm not sure if they managed or not, but to me that just sounds like a social burnout. It sounds awful. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna be honest, spending like 3 hours an evening having dinner with a total stranger, that's not worth the food, man. The labor is too great. r/facepalm. Imagine taking a picture of this and thinking the note writer is unreasonable. Let's see. The entire building can hear your apartment beep loudly twice every 30 seconds all day and night. Please make it stop. Oh, so they haven't changed the batteries in a smoke detector or something like that, and they're just letting it run indefinitely. How would you not go insane about this when the entire house is complaining about it? What are those nails? Holy crap. So anyway, yeah, no, swap your smoke detector batteries. When you reach the point that your entire building is complaining, it's gone on too long. I have seen too many videos here on Reddit of people opening presents on Christmas, heartwarming videos, with a smoke detector beep ringing loudly in the background. It takes me out of the feel-good moment and makes me wonder, why do so many people in so many houses just let it go on for so long? Imagine how many just ignore that noise until it stopped, so they are happily lighting candles and sitting next to their super flammable tree with no working fire systems.
Ah, it finally stopped. That means everything is fine.
Isn't that a Simpson episode where Homer invents the everything is fine alarm? It just blares like a fire siren as long as everything is fine. But then it also breaks easily, so you don't know if it's time to panic or if the alarm is just broken.
I went on a date with this guy and he paid for himself alone because I brought 2 of my friends. Some men are heartless.
I think that means in my honest opinion.
Splish splosh, your opinion is trosh.
All of you blaming me, it is unfair. Nah, a gentleman,
Not a gentleman.
a gentleman would have paid the bills and tell me politely after the date.
So he just pays for your mischief and your obvious grift for just getting free meals out of him with your friends. It's not even a date anymore.
That's the best thing to do and not just act so immature.
Who's the immature one? You're like under this little grift of going out on dates with people, but then bringing a group of friends, or heck, bring the entire family, and just get free meals out of it. Is this even a date? Fam.
Some men love dates with friends and some don't.
If it's like a couple's date that is planned ahead of time, that can be really sweet and it's fun, you know, the more the merrier. You can do some sport or go bowling or whatever, but this ain't it, fam.
So next time I will always ask before taking my friends.
The fact that you even had to have an experience to like realize that you should ask people about that stuff is wild, especially expecting them to pay. And I also understand that dating can be scary and that kind of stuff, especially meeting strangers and you don't know if they're safe. But, you know, bringing friends with you and have your date pay for like 4 people is wild. If you're worried about it, meet in a public space or have friends like in the same restaurant, for example, a couple of tables away, that can snag you away from the awkward situations and be a lifesaver. I know some people do that and they come with like, oh my god, Courtney, are you here as well? And they drag them away if they give them the signal that the date is a disaster. That kind of stuff is perfectly fine. Go nuts. I mean, it's good to be safe and that kind of stuff with dates, but this probably ain't it, fam. This is just weird. Reminds me of the story of the guy who went on a date and the chick brought her whole family. He paid his stuff on the counter and left.
But maybe it is a positive. You know, usually say that, oh, it's time to introduce the families, all that kind of good stuff.
It means things are going well. So she was so sure about this date that she just introduced the family all at once, while also making him pay for the food. But that's beside the point. It's going good. Elon Musk's X, now worth 71% less than when the billionaire bought it as Twitter. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's really gone downhill. And I mean, Twitter was really on rock bottom to begin with. So this is actually pretty impressive.
Musky Husky, Grok is so best, Grok is wise. Grok, I can confirm Elon Musk is a P-word. Unfortunately, the internet on which it is trained is overrun with woke nonsense. Grok will get better. This was just the beta.
Oh my god.
Oh, yes. Titanic. Rosa is on the deathbed. Instead of thinking about her children or husband, with whom she had been living for 70 years, she remembers some homeless dude who did her on a boat. Millions of women consider this as a great love story.
That's like, it's kind of true, right? It's kind of true. Like,
let me tell you about the best lay of my life.
But honestly though, it's probably quite memorable because it's like the Titanic. I mean, if I was on the Titanic and I also had like a really good like little fling-a-ma-ding-ding going on during the whole thing, it would probably be a very core memory, I imagine. You know?
The R-wordist. It is their fault. R-wording is the fault of the R-wordist and the R-wordist only.
Wrong. If a woman is wearing something to attract attention, then that's partly her fault too. Dress like a slow to get treated like one. Dress like a lady and men will treat you as such.
I am going to bet money that this gentleman right here treats women like absolute garbage, no matter what she's wearing. Do you think someone with this moral system is gonna treat people better, depending on which cloth they decided to hang on their bodies that day? Of course not! Back to the time when the White House secretary publicly posted his password 2 days in a row. And when you're no. How do you do this twice? Like, it's one thing to just write it out in the tweet instead of like logging in, but like to do it twice. Dude, no, just get a secretary to run your account for you at this point. Dear God.
Kids these days don't know how to handle power tools.
And then you do this. The darndest things. Yes, I am aware that your notion that the US is a far-right country comes from memes. This is not a shock to me. I was effectively kidnapped by my own family and sent to a completely and still legal queer teen torture camp, where in between prayer sessions and conversion therapy, we did 9 hours of labor every day. Oh, that sounds like a blast. Oh my god, your kid is gay. Have you just put him in a camp? This stems from the idea that if you just make LGBT plus people suffer enough, they won't be LGBT plus anymore, or they will just not be around anymore. The people behind these things don't really care which it is, as long as we disappear. Those kind of horror stories always surprise me still to this day. That is like allowed to happen. Just send your kids away in camps, and that people actually believe it works. I think the only reason people believe it works is probably because there are so many people that were forced into the closet because of it. Oh no, I promise I'm straight now. I promised. Oh gee, it worked. No, it didn't. You just scared them into hiding because they know what happens otherwise. You know, it just becomes a hidden statistic. It doesn't mean that it works. God.
Marvel just got its first female Native American deaf amputee superhero. No, this is not satire. Look at this, outrageous.
Wasn't she already in a Marvel show before? Yeah, but moreover, Marvel didn't just get her. She's been in the comics since '99. Edit, she's been around for like 25 years. Since we can't seem to pin down Among Us, let's approximate point stance.
Darth Vader is a quad amputee with severe COPD and stage renal disease and who knows what else. That's true though. That's true. Why aren't they upset about Darth Vader?
My girlfriend thinks a game is going to make me racist. I, M19, like to play strategy games, and my favorite games are Hearts of Iron 4, Crusader Kings 3, and Europa Universalis. These games are about conquering and managing a nation in the times of World War II, Crusades, and Age of Discovery. Today I was playing EU4 and was colonizing the Americans as friends and conquering tribes. And my girlfriend was watching it and calling me immoral for colonizing in a video game. I told her it's just a video game and it's not hurting anyone, so it doesn't matter, and I will play games I like. She then starts going on about how I am never considering her feelings, but I said she's just creating things to be mad about because this isn't really a problem for anyone else. I don't know what I should do because nobody I know has this problem with their girlfriends. That really sounds like creating problems out of nothing. I'ma be honest, there are plenty of games and movies and enjoyable media that has settings in questionable context, but that's not the point. For example, I used to play a lot of Company of Heroes with a couple of old friends back in uni. That doesn't mean anyone is like particularly invested in ideologies, it just happens to take place in the Second World War because that's the context of the strategy game. Or you can take another example that plays pretty similar, like Command & Conquer, for example. Has nothing to do with current ideologies, really, you know, everything is made up, as in the future, kind of. Of course, it has references to various things, but that's beside the point. The main point is the strategy, and then there's just the context with level of tech and stuff. If you choose to get upset about this, it's really strange.
He should also play Stellaris, the ones where you can actually get to commit genocide by declaring an entire alien race to be food. Just turn them into Big Macs. Hell yeah.
Guys, my wife played Gears of War. She laughed and seemed to be having fun while chainsawing a dude in half. Is this a red flag in time for divorce? Only if you own a chainsaw. I feel like it very quickly goes into that kind of territory when people try to explain everything bad that happens in the world with video games.
My god, GTA is a thing, that's why crime exists, you know
that kind of line of logic. It very quickly goes into that territory. It's not amazing.
This car is getting free electricity in a public space, so I unplugged it because it's theft. If I don't get free gas, you don't get free electricity. Your thoughts are all welcome. Hashtag Vigilante po. Hashtag Denver. Look at this, I unplugged this electric car because I am the hero we need.
I was working on a project with the city. Their electricity pricing was stupid low. They installed free EV chargers at City Hall. They received more than 500 emails of people complaining that they should get free gas if EVs are getting free electricity. The data collected for 3 months, the average car used $1.2 worth of electricity while parked at City Hall. But because of complaints about not getting gas vouchers, they ended up removing the EV chargers. Oh, come on. No, they should just have ignored the complaints. 500 emails? That's nothing. Come on now. I mean, this is literally how you encourage positive change that you want to see, you know? You want more people to use electric vehicles and stuff? Get some subsidies for it and that kind of thing. That is incredibly common. It's been a thing in Sweden as well for various things and like charging cables and all that kind of stuff for cars. So,
Meh.
I also think that people complaining don't actually know what they're talking about. I think if I was in charge of this, I would just troll and give out $1 vouchers. And they're like, what? I only get $1 gas? Yeah, that's what it costs to charge one of these cars. And then they would probably shut up because they technically got what they wanted, but it's not even worth redeeming it because it's like $1 and have to carry the paper with you. So I would just troll and just call them out on the BS. That would be so much more fun. A Canadian millionaire named Marcel Lebron builds 99 homes to reduce homelessness in his town.
That is not fair to people that work hard.
It's his money. He got his choice on who to help or not. Bro, it's not a handout. It's called a fresh start. Like, what the frick? You can't be serious, my dude.
It's not fair. Oh, come on now.
That's something that sometimes disappoints me when I see charitable things. I've seen this in the creator space as well, when people decide to do charity events. It's quite common to receive a decent amount of hate for doing charity, for example, because you didn't pick another charity to support. So, you get hate from people who would have preferred a different charity instead of this one over here. But at the end of the day, maybe we should all just be happy that charity is being done at all, People find really weird things to be upset about, and I don't think they realize the kind of stuff it endorses. Because what people like this will do if the hate gets too much is that they won't just do anything charitable again. They're like, okay, I get more crap from doing this charitable thing because people upset I did the wrong charitable thing than if I would have just been completely quiet, I don't think these people realize exactly what kind of trends this behavior endorses. My third grade biology teacher marked an answer on one of my tests as wrong, because when asked about a mammal that lays eggs, I wrote platypus.
According to him, the correct answer was penguin.
As a teacher, I wonder where you find those teachers which are not only very wrong about very basic things, but also so confidently wrong about it. When I am uncertain if something is correct when correcting a test, I look it up. I also know the basics of the subjects I teach.
The Daniel Kruger effect.
It's good when you're Daniel Krugering the Daniel Kruger effect. Oh, goody. I once got into an argument with someone who said they were immune to the Dunning-Kruger effect because they scored 130 on an online IQ test. They literally, unironically, Dunning-Krugered the whole Dunning-Kruger effect. That was so funny. This reminds me of that test we had in a recent video where someone said, what is 3 minus 5? And the person answered -2, but they got an incorrect answer for it because they technically hadn't started with negative numbers yet.
I swear to God.
See 7 states. Look at all these states. Wow, what a cool view.
How can we see 7 states if we are spinning?
Is this a flat earth argument? Is this where we're at? Oh my God. Okay, if you're standing on the top of a ball and both you and the ball are spinning, you're still gonna be able to see the ball you're standing on. What? The Earth spinning means that we would all be blind. So the Earth can't be a ball? It must be flat because otherwise ice wouldn't work.
I witnessed the murder of my 3-month-old half-sister at the age of 8. Ask me anything. That sounds rough. Also, I'm sorry I was the first person you told this to. So, did it cause you other mental problems? But that's the same person. This is OP.
Forgot to switch accounts. No, that's so cringy. No. You just made something up so you can respond to it on an alt account and be like, oh yeah, look at me, I'm so quirky and give me all this attention. Man, that's so cringe. That is no.
Wanna see my pair?
Sure.
Photo.
That's your Vigilante. I wanna see your cat.
I don't have a cat. Then why are you wasting my time?
You see?
Dating. Gone good.
There is straight bisexuals, yuck, and gay bisexuals, yay!
Do you know what bisexuality is?
The label adopted by lonely, straight, usually white people who want to force their way into queer spaces.
There is straight bisexuals and gay bisexuals, yuck and yay. If you want to go on a side tangent about it, sexuality can come in all kind of shapes and sizes, right? You can be like 90% attracted to this, and then on rare occasion you can be 10% attracted to this. You would still probably fall under the bisexual umbrella if that's what you choose to identify with. It doesn't have to be exactly 50-50 for you to adopt a label, right? I've met many people that, they scale in various ways, and preferences may even change over time as you grow, depending on which direction you want to go in and how you feel in previous experiences, and so on and so forth. Humans are quite complex after all. This is kind of weird, fam. Like, sure, there is the occasional weirdo that tries to go to spaces, for example, like dudes showing up in gay bars to try to hit on lesbian women and being very disrespectful when they get turned down and stuff. This can happen, but I don't think this is where you should take that argument. You can acknowledge that creeps exists without being like, bisexuals aren't real. Like, the correlation is just... There's no correlation.
I am 12 weeks pregnant and feel like I'm way too big already. My husband and I experimented with my horse one drunken night around when you were conceived.
You know, the plot twist here that I imagine is that when they say experimenting, it means nothing naughty or anything. They were just going Frankenstein mode. But anyway,
is it possible that I'm actually carrying a foal? I am so scared to go to ultrasound, even they make me abortive, so I'm pro-life 100%, even if it is a horse. No judging, especially if you live in Arkansas.
This is how you get centaurs. Technically, we're all half centaur. I mean, all horses are also half centaur if you want to go that route. I swear to God, some people missed biology class, didn't they? Oh, dear God. I mean, this is concerning enough as it is, but that wouldn't be the end result, fam, okay? Just know.
Got your rent on my wrist. Look at this little zipper lock ambush zip tie bracelets. $755.
Are these actually made of plastic, or are they like made of any kind of rare metals or something? Because even if it's rare metal, it looks very like, I don't know, tacky. I mean, I've seen people standing in line for Supreme bricks, so I'm not surprised, but I'm still disappointed. This has to be a wind-up. Or are they made from precious metal? If so, still effing gross. It's not actually a plastic zip tie. The one on the left is. Oh, so they're just faking it to like look like the expensive ones, I guess? That's a really funny bait in that case.
This mama is tired. One of my coworkers posted a photo of her tree. There were tons of gifts under it. My 6-year-old was sitting with me and said, "Mama Bear, why isn't there that much under our tree?" I politely explained that we spent the majority of our Christmas money on Mama's Ozempic.
Isn't that weight loss stuff?
This year, like Santa said we should.
I don't know, I've heard bad stuff about them. I'm not particularly read up, but that doesn't sound good, fam.
And that sometimes other families posted pictures trying to make people feel bad. I sent my coworkers a polite message on Facebook asking her to please remove the photo of her tree, as it was triggering my daughter. She sent me a really nasty response saying that her Christmas was none of my business.
Sort of the response you would expect from this, yeah?
Big mistake! My best friend happens to be our manager, and she will be giving her an unlimited amount of vacation days after the new year starts and it's time to renew contracts.
So you go to your bestie, who's a boss, and tell them, I don't like this coworker because they posted Christmas pictures on their Facebook. Fire them, please. I don't think that happened.
Company values don't align with her selfishness. Bye.
There's something so sweetly ironic about people that think they're the main character of the world, calling other people selfish. All Mama Bear had to say was that the presents under the tree were for 20 people, not just one. That would require critical thinking. Yeah, that's true. That would be such a good excuse. Nah, kiddo, they have 15 kids in that family. Don't worry about it. You actually have more gifts because you're such a good boy. There you go. It's not that the kid is going to analyze it any deeper. Come on now. Mayday Teller, 98, will welcome her 622nd grandchild this summer.
This could be the average white woman nowadays, but Satan had to create feminism instead.
That's a lot of kids, man. For those who are curious, I did some Googling. When they say grandchild, they're including great-grandchildren. Okay, that explains how the number got so large. I mean, to have these many grandkids, even if it becomes, multiplicative because every kid has 4 kids and you have 4 kids and that kind of thing, you would need to have like 100 kids. And they would have to have like 9 kids of their own to not include great-grandkids. All the families would have to be humongous. This woman became a mother at 16, and all the women in that photo descend from one another, meaning the first woman is her daughter, the next one is her daughter's daughter, and so on. The photo shows 6 generations at the same time. She just has a very large family tree. Then it makes way more sense. If it's 6 generations, then it gets multiplicative really quickly. But really weird takeaway on Twitter, as always, isn't it?
Look, boyo, he won his own made-up argument.
Isn't that? Yeah, that's pretty true. Yeah, that's like... that's most of it nowadays, isn't it?
Nice try defending your point. Too bad I've made this meme where you're the ugly face and I'm the handsome one. Yes. Unfortunately for you, I have already depicted you as the soy Wojak and me as the Chad. Your opinion, cringe and bad. My opinion, the Chad one. Try to argue against that, mortals.
Statistics show that teen pregnancies drop drastically after the age of 20.
Great news! Who would have thunk it?
What is a scam that's become so normalized that we don't realize it's a scam anymore?
The fact that a child can be removed from their family of origin for lack of resources or support, and then given to a foster family who subsequently gets the resources and support.
That is a really wild system. That is so weird. Wouldn't it be easier and cheaper to just give a little bit to the initial family and not have to shuffle everything around, and also probably less traumatic? No? Alright.
Underutet. When I bumped into serial killers in jail, we would both apologize and carry on our day. Do you understand?
That you vibe with serial killer? What kind of flex is this? What do you mean? I guess the logic here would be to impress 14-year-olds. That, you know, I am respected by the most dangerous people in jail. I guess that's like the takeaway, but it's really weird, fam.
I have twice as many Jewish friends as non-Jewish friends, Musk said. I'm like Jewish by association. I'm aspirationally Jewish.
What do you mean? What? Is that an actual quote? That's pretty wild. Hey, look at that. Badass. I have no idea what the context of this picture is. I just know that this is what my character in Fallout would look like in real life.
If the statement trans women are women were true, the statement women are trans women would be equally as true. But virtually no one thinks or says that. Just an observation.
All yellow cars are cars. Not all cars are yellow cars. It's pretty simple to make up a very basic example of like subcategories of larger groupings of things.
This is so stupid. Should we draw a Venn diagram? Let's draw a Venn diagram. Paint, please!
Ladies, lasses and lassos, welcome once again to Click Academy, where we can't spell, but that's okay. So today we're investigating like subgroupings of categories. So imagine you have a Venn diagram that looks like this, and you have like a group inside of it that is more specific. You know, this can be anything. This can be, for example, women, trans women, or it can be cars and yellow cars. It means that this one is a part of this one and has the same kind of definition on a broader level, but it doesn't mean that this one is automatically this one. It's a subgroup of a larger category. You see? It's a surprisingly complicated concept for some reason.
Thank you so much for listening to Click Academy of me drawing circles. A girl bought an iPhone. When her father saw it, he asked her, "What was the first thing you did when you bought it?"
I put an anti-scratch sticker on the screen and bought a cover for the iPhone.
She replied, "Did someone force you to do so?"
No.
Don't you think it's an insult to the manufacturer?
No, Dad. In fact, they even recommend using a cover for the iPhone.
Did you cover it because it was cheap and ugly?
Actually, I covered it because I don't want it to get damaged and decrease in value.
When you put the cover on, didn't it reduce the iPhone's beauty?
I think it looks better and it's worth it for the protection it gives my iPhone.
The father looked lovingly at his daughter and said, "Yet if I had asked you to cover your body, which is much more valuable and precious than the iPhone, would you have readily agreed?" She was mute!
Oh, let me bring up that little meme we had a little while back. Look at the SpongeBob meme. Look, boyo, he won his own made-up argument. Very cool.
I put a case on my phone so my friends don't think it's a salute. I bet your dirty little phone lets any charger into its port. Ah!
I think it's always been a thing online, but it has certainly increased in frequency over the past few years, with people online that think they are a little bit smarter than they are, and they just come up with wild analogies that don't really make sense, and they think that like proves the absolute truth of the world. You know? Well, laddies, lasses, and lassos, I do hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed having you here dragging through the dregs that society has created. Oh yes, indeed, isn't that a beautiful thing? Maybe. Remember that the Emotional Support Demon is coming out permanently on Valentine's. Yes, indeed. Keep an eye out for that very, very happy news, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Take care. Mwah.